welcome to the Nexus for the 28th of October 2019 Monday Night Raw review. So, how did I think Monday night went? It started off very good, and they ended it on probably the worst thing imaginable. You could probably find out if you go on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere like that. It was horrendously bad at the end. There were some good matches in on Monday, but it ultimately was let down by the last segment. But with that said, let's dive right into it. So Monday Night Raw starts with Paige. We haven't seen Paige for quite some time. Apparently she's been mentoring the Kibosh Warriors, but they haven't. They started off with her, and then last couple of times we've seen them, even when they won the tag title, the women's tag titles, we didn't see her. Anyway, she appeared. She said that their success was part of her and all this sort of stuff. Then Asuka snatches the mic out of her hand, and then she gets it back, and then Kairi Sane does the same, snatches it out. She goes to pick up the mic, which she slaps out of Kairi Sane's hand onto the floor. She goes to pick up the mic, turns to Asuka, and Asuka green mists her. So green mist from her mouth sprays Paige in the eyes. She rolls out. So they're getting water. They're sorting her. Then we get Becky Lynch comes out, starts beating the both of them. We go to a commercial break. When we come back, it is Becky Lynch versus Kairi Sane. This match was already teased anyway, so it was sort of like we sort of knew this was going to happen anyway. Nevertheless, it was actually a really, really good match. Obviously, Becky Lynch wins, but Kairi Sane doesn't make it easy for her to do. They both look very strong in it. I like the match anyway. It was a very good match. But it looks like they're having, or Asuka's going to have a feud maybe, or even Kairi Sane. I mean, she held her own against Becky Lynch. But yeah, that was a good match to start off with. Quite a good segment as well. Then we get R-Truth and Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy's actually, he's shown himself to be able to keep up there with the best of them, really. And he's a really good talent for Raw. In regards to R-Truth, he was saying that he was the 24, 28 European, or whatever he says. I mean, he is. There's one thing he can do, and that is he can really, really rally the fans, and he connects with them really, really well. Everyone was singing, everyone was chanting with him, "What's up?" But the match was okay. Then we get, obviously, the runaround where one of the Singh brothers has got the 24/7 title. They run around the ring like so quite a few times. R-Truth gets out and runs with them. It's a comedy segment. The ref's counting. He gets to 9. R-Truth slides in the ring. Buddy Murphy hits him, gets the 1, 2, 3, easy win. And then obviously the line that was running around runs back out through the crowd. That's an okay segment. Once again, I don't really know. I do like the 24/7 title. I just think they should do a little bit more with it. At the moment, it just seems to be a sort of a comedy thing. R-Truth and Carmella, that segment was really good. But the problem is now, I feel like it's getting very old and a bit tired now, and they should be having, I think, most of the times that we've seen this title, it's been in the back, and not really full focused. It seems like a comedy segment sort of title, which I suppose is okay, but I would like more of a match type, and for people to really go after it than just running around the ring with these mid cards. I suppose it gives them a bit more of a thing, but I would love to see a proper match for it. You know, say the Singh brothers versus R-Truth, or you know, whoever's got it. You know, a proper one-on-one match. I know it's got to be defended 24/7, but it needs something. But yeah, it was okay segment, I suppose. Then we get a really weird segment with the Street Profits, Street Profilers, and they come out to the ring. As they're coming out, they go through the crowd, obviously dancing. They get in the ring, do a promo, and then they want the fire, they want the smoke. That's all they keep saying, smoke. Then they get back out and they go through the crowd again. Don't know, maybe it was just a little bit of segment. I could have easily done without it. Because we've had these sort of things with them before. We had lots of backstage segment. We want to see them wrestle. I really want to see them wrestle. They're really good. They were really good on NXT. We had that one match, and that showed how good they are. Stop bringing them out each week, just talking, just get them wrestling. This is what we want. Then we get, obviously, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair come down. Obviously, they've got a match this Thursday at Crown Jewel. We'll be doing a review on Friday, remember, live, so make sure you join us for that. Obviously, it'll be on there afterwards as well. Then representatives of their team. So we get a rubber match, I should say, or a rematch between Drew McIntyre and Ricochet. Just like their first match, this match was excellent. Really, really good. Very much invested in it. It was really good. You've got these two good people. You've got Ricochet, who's very quick. You've got McIntyre, who's a big hitter. There was a few times it could have gone either way. Then, obviously, we had an interference from Randy Orton, who RKO out of nowhere. Ricochet, which ended the match. A fairly good segment going forward. Gives Ric Flair's team a little bit of an upper hand. But we will see come Crown Jewel. They don't disappoint, these two. They were spot on. Really liked it. Then we get the Viking Warriors, or the Viking Raiders, I should say. The Raw Tag Team Champions against the Casino. I don't even know their names. They were dressed up in blue. They had stuff on. I think they were the Chicago Cubs. I think they were representing. They were the two smallest guys probably in the crowd. That just went, yeah, get them out, give them a try. It was clear from the outset that this is. I mean, they've got tag teams on Raw. There's no need to keep doing this. The Viking Raiders are a good tag team, and they won the titles clean. Last 2 weeks they've been fighting nobodies. I mean, you've got the Street Profits. You've got just loads of teams on there. Come on, this is just building them up. I don't know what for. It was a quick match. It was another way of showing what they can do. We already know what they can do. We've seen it. It was just, yeah, it wasn't a very good thing. Then we get Andrade versus Sin Cara. Another rematch from last week. So this is two now that we've had. On this one card, there were matches from last week. I just hope that this doesn't keep going. Raw got into this, or WWE got into this spat before, where they just kept repeating matches over and over and over and over again, and viewerships went down. People were not happy. But this time, Sin Cara comes out with a lady to help him. I don't know who it is. I think it's someone from Developmental NXT. I think she was in. I don't really know who. The match itself was okay. Selena Vega tried to interfere, but obviously Sin Cara's friend stopped that. But got a distraction. Andrade hit, obviously, Sin Cara and used the ropes to pin him. So a dirty pin, as you would say. So Andrade wins. Looks like there's a bit of a feud bearing there. I just don't want to keep seeing this over and over and over again. But anyway. And then we get a tag team match. So we get poor Natalya. Natalya is desperate for a tag team partner. And they keep pairing her with people who, I don't know why. She's obviously quite desperate for a tag team run, which I think she deserves. It's just finding someone to go with her. Obviously, this week she brings out Charlotte Flair, taking on the returning Iconics. We haven't seen the Iconics for a couple of months. This is the first time we've seen them back. I do like the Iconics. I have to admit, I love the way that they are in the ring and stuff like that. I just feel that they are the jobbers of the women's division, and I think they did get a push. They were women's tag team champions. When they got the titles, they did nothing with them. But yeah, I just feel that they deserve a little bit of a push. Once again, this is an easy match. Ric Flair and Natalya, Charlotte Flair and Natalya win. This is another thing where they're trying to get Natalya a tag team partner. She seems to be going through the roster at the moment. There must be someone out there or someone that she can team with. I think Natalya's very good, but they're obviously trying to keep her relevant, which is okay. But the match itself was, you would expect, a very quick one, not overly good. Then we get the one that was teased and one that was promoted was the Universal Champion Seth Rollins versus Erick Rowan in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Obviously, I'm watching this on TV, so there's a lot of breaks. It goes. There is a weird part when watching this. I think there was 2 breaks within this. There was some good segments. It goes outside, goes into the concessions area where the merchandise is. That goes through the merchandise table. He tries to pin him through the merchandise table, and then it cuts to a break. Okay. When it comes back, they're both in the ring, and Seth Rollins is winning. It's a bit like, what happened? They didn't even say, "Oh, this happened during the commercial break" or anything. There was none of that. It was really weird. Then again, we go onto the ramp. This match is now keeps continuing outside. Goes onto the ramp. Erick Rowan sort of clears the announce table, which is up there by the Titantron, by the entrance. Attempts to put Seth Rollins through the table. He does a stomp. He then does a crossbody onto him. It then goes back outside where Seth Rollins uses a forklift truck to pin Erick Rowan for the 1, 2, 3. It was a fairly good segment. I think this is pushing the crown jewel segment between The Fiend and Seth Rollins for the Falls Count Anywhere match. So it was a bit like, oh, this is what I can do, and stuff like that. It was a fairly good. I liked going outside. It showed a little bit of old school of it going into the crowd, going up to the concessions, going backstage. And obviously it was done live as well, because I know that some of the stuff they do backstage is pre-recorded. It was nice to see it go backstage live. You had the fans there shouting. You had the security trying to keep them back. So that was really cool. Then we get AJ Styles versus Humberto Kalos, or whatever it's called. I can't remember his name. We had a match last week with Seth Rollins. He has another match with AJ Styles this week. Or he has a match with AJ Styles this week. It was okay. Obviously, AJ picks up the win. But it was okay. I think his match last week was much better than this one. But it obviously looks like they're pushing him a little bit. Maybe a new... sort of a new feud maybe going on there for the US title. They're sort of pushing a lot of these cruiserweights now for the bigger time, and I think that's great. They've got massive potential, and I think they're sort of lost on 205 Live, which is sort of lost, I think, just because it's on the network and not traditionally on, and I think some of the stuff on the network gets passed over. But there are some great stars on 205 Live, so it's worth keeping an eye out for them. Then we get the worst segment imaginable. They're really slipping back into their old ways. Obviously, the reviewing figures haven't come out, but they've got to be bad for this. We have the King's Court, or Jerry Lawler's King's Court, or the Divorce Court is what it's called now. Ravi comes out, Lana comes out and says he wanted sex everywhere, and she didn't want a baby, and it was just yeah, it was this. It was what. Obviously, they're trying to get more soap opera fans in this, but this is wrestling, and this was not wrestling. This was horrendous. Obviously, they go backwards and forwards with the talking. Bobby Lashley comes out. Ravi beats him up. Lana hits him with a kendo stick. Bobby Lashley does a low blow. And then they sort of make out on top of Ravi. It was just the most bizarre set. That was where Raw ended, by the way. It was just so bizarre. People went on Twitter. It's been slated. Absolutely slated. WWE, this is wrestling. This was not wrestling. This was pandering to the soap opera fans. Also, as well, it's so not 2019. This segment was better suited maybe in 2002, 2003. This is 2019. It just doesn't work. And there were so many tweets going on about it at the time, and they're still going on about it now. It was so bad. But yeah, that's where Raw ended, and that's where it was horrid. It was bad. It was bad. A bad ending. There were some good matches. The women's match at the start. Then we had obviously Drew McIntyre and Ricochet, which were really good matches. And the Seth Rollins match was really fun. And then they end it on this pile. I mean, you know what I mean? It was a bit like, it was something that you would probably see in sort of a soap opera like EastEnders or Coronation Street, not on WWE TV. I'm not invested in this storyline at all. I don't get it. I thought I may be a bit of alone in this decision, but I'm not. So many other people thought the same thing. I just hope WWE are listening and scrap this, because it's going nowhere, and I don't really know what's happening with it at all. But it was just a poor ending to what could have been quite a good Monday Night Raw. I think they should have, if they wanted to keep that segment, I would have just scrapped that segment. But if I wanted to keep that segment, I would have done it not at the end of Raw. Leaving Raw like that was weird. Anyway, that's our review. That's the Nexus review of the 28th of October 2019 review of Monday Night Raw. Thank you for listening to me rabble on about it. Thank you for watching. Also, click to subscribe, like, comment, all that sort of stuff. Remember, we are live on Friday at 3 PM for our Crown Jewel review. I hope you can all join me for then. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.